Hi everyone, quick video here. So anybody who's followed my journey over the last few years have known that I got a divorce and it was really traumatic. That was part of the reason why I did the Camino, to kind of have it be sort of the burn and turn into a new life and just kind of release and let go of all those things. So I want to say that I got engaged actually a couple weeks ago. My boyfriend, well now fiance, his birthday was the 27th of August and he proposed on his birthday. And I want to talk about this just to give you an example of how it is so important to break through negative thinking, limited belief systems, and just knowing deep down when you have faith and trust, things will always work out to your highest good in the right timing, so in divine timing. But also you have to do the work and you have to make wise decisions that are for your highest good in order for these positive things to happen in your life. I got divorced at the age of, well, I got left, I guess, at 32, technically 33, had my little Jesus year, hiked the Camino. I live in Seattle, where the lifestyle out here is just so different as compared to what I understood or knew 10, 11 years ago of the dating world in Ohio. And the amount of people that I ran through, when you're dealing with the dark side of abundance, a lot of people tend to dabble into drugs. They're into sex parties and orgies. So this was a very common thing that I ran into when trying to date in this city, when it's a predominantly tech corporate culture. I lost all sorts of faith. I met somebody who probably manifested me, was the dark side of my husband and ex-husband. And if I got trapped into that rabbit hole of negativity, it would have not have been good. And I don't really want to share too many details on this video because I don't really want my psyche to remember any of that. But it was a really traumatic experience. He was a horror novel writer, and our meeting occurred the exact same way that it happened in the book, and it traumatized me for a long time. And I prayed to God, and that person left the city randomly. So that led to me going to Colorado and kind of regathering myself after the Camino, when I thought, oh, everything's going great. And then I met the person who I'm with now, who is like an angel. His soul is just so sweet. I haven't heard him say one mean or negative thing about anybody. I mean, it's he's on the very loving, nurturing, caring side of the Virgo quality, which has a little bit of like innocent and naivety. So why I'm sharing this is because when you go through so much loss in your life and you are rooted to who you are, you do not sell out, you do not just pick up that dating app and go out and find someone new, or you get canned from your job that was kind of bringing you down anyways. Like in 2012, I was forced to resign from the government. I, as an Aquarius, do not think I should be ever working for the government ever again. I do not like corruption and bullshit, and so me and the government do not really mix. However, I can do it if I have to. So throughout all these life experiences of loss and suffering and going through pain and emotional trauma and dead ends and obstacles and challenges, everything has always been there for a better life lesson, to make me stronger, wiser, and to set me on the right path. Because we're always going from point A to B. So you can go forward, but sometimes there's detours. You go from, you maybe go to the right or to the left. Right now, I'm on the verge of losing 2 jobs. One is my main job. The other one is a job I've had for 11 years, which is teaching community college classes in the health and physical education department, because this has been my life's career, has been working in health and fitness. And I'm a little nervous, definitely nervous, because our state mandate has just really reamed it to a lot of people on even people virtual. Like one of my jobs is just a virtual job. And I do know that because of all of this loss that I've suffered, that there is an ascension process at the end of the tunnel. So regardless of how this goes, you have to be smart and wise with your money. You can't just be naive and think life is just going to be the same and always work out. I think it will always work out, but you have to have smart decision making and planning in the meantime if you do go through forms of loss and suffrage. Obviously, like when people lose things, they tend to do unwise decisions like going out and drinking or partying, where they spend a bunch of money or they meet really low vibration type of people, and it keeps them in that negative cycle of just say negativity. You're not growing and ascending, you're just kind of in a spiral. So if I do lose one or both of these jobs, I will be very upset. I will definitely want to fight for my beliefs, but however, I do know that there is something better that is going to happen in the future. Now, if the whole world collapses, this is a completely different topic where I don't even know what I would suggest at this point in time, besides just still having faith and also accepting your own life path and journey, because we've all been born into our own specific situations to overcome our weaknesses and obstacles, and to learn how to give and receive love, and also learn how to forgive. And that's what a lot of really tough life lessons are here, in order for us to learn how to forgive. That's the higher mind, that's the Christ consciousness, or the Christ-like spirit that is preaching and teaching forgiveness, which is the opposite of the pagan religions, which constantly just seek revenge. So whatever situation you are in right now, like my last video, you have to ground yourself and ground your emotions. Be very firm in your beliefs, but just also know that something better is going to come out of this. There is so much resistance right now happening. A girl that I know, her husband works for the government, and 1/3 of their agency did not submit any of their exemption forms, or even the people who got their shot did not submit their proof of their card. So if we understand divide and conquer, and we understand certain laws of astrology, moving from the age of Pisces, which the dark side is sociopathy and secrets and establishments, the dark side, transitioning into the age of Aquarius, the dark side of Aquarius is a lot of narcissism, fanaticism, radical energy, anger. We have to learn how to transmute that negative in order to help us move forward in a positive way. A lot of people are under Stockholm syndrome. The government is their captor. They have full faith and trust into these people. I don't really have a whole lot of trust and faith in people anymore, because everything on this planet has some room for error. I even voted for Jesus for our mayor recently, because I'm just so sick of the same crap in our city, when our former mayor was an alleged pedophile, and people keep voting for the same shit and expecting the same or different result, when they can't see that our city has been slowly crumbling, and now we're almost at the point of rock bottom, where heroin addicts have more civil liberties and rights and more access to health care than your average human, who may or may not, well, probably the ones that don't have their shot, but is allowing, or that the system is allowing, our ambulance and our EMTs and our medics to give more time to resuscitating these people who are ODing at our bus stops, but yet a 2-year heart transplant patient at University of Washington Hospital has been taken off the heart transplant list because he denied the shot. And he denied that because there's a lot of side effects which are already symptoms that he is experiencing, such as heart issues, which is why he's on a heart transplant list, as well as breathing. So the story, or just that moment of inspiration of just telling you that, you know, like, I am engaged. I deep down knew that I could find what I want anywhere. Even at that point when I was in Colorado kind of burning off energy, I consulted some psychic, which was the last bit of any sort of esoteric thing, occulty thing that I ever used at that time, because she told me that I'd have to move out of state and move to the Southwest in order to find love. And a part of me was like, you know, I was wavering these thoughts between Jesus and all this other stuff. And I thought, you know what, that's absolute bullshit. Like, why am I giving my faith into someone and or the prediction, which has room for error or room to consult the not so wise energies on this planet? And I thought, you know what, I can do this myself. And it happened. And I'm very thankful and happy for it. No relationship will ever be 100% perfect, but you know, it's like I had to lose my ex-husband and I had to lose a marriage in order to be in my current position now, which is with somebody who I am meant to be with. There's nothing wrong with my past or my ex. You know, you meet people when you're younger, you have a lot of crap to go through during that birthing process of the 20s, because we're not as mature as our former generations, where people were really with it at the age of 18, and now we're, you know, adult children. So if you're on the verge of losing your mind because of what's happening in the world, or on the verge of losing your job because of some certain mandates, you have to question, does God really want me in this job? I personally have very high standards for dealing with crap. After the government job that I went through, I don't ever want to experience that ever again. So I could operate in fear, thinking like, oh my God, I'm going to have to go and get a grocery store job, or I'm going to have to go work retail and blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, that's not the standard. It's not going to happen. Let's see how this works or doesn't work, and then move on from there. That is when you break through the negative thinking, like there's no good jobs out there, there's no good men out there. You will continue to attract the same thing if you really deep down believe it. But if you deep down believe that there is something better for you, it's not going to just appear on your doorstep. It might. Sometimes that happens, but you have to put a little bit of work in there too. I think also while living a pretty moral life. I think if you're going to live as a hypocrite, these things don't really work out in the long term. So anyways, these are some thoughts that I wanted to share. I hope you're doing well. Keep your feet on the ground, head in the clouds, keep faith in your beliefs, and see you next time. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. Bye-bye.